I'm Jeremy, and here's your Red Rock tip of the week. I'm Jeremy Lamph, and I'm the Director of Training and Product Development here at Red Rock Defense Group. This week's question was, what's the best concealed carry weapon? We're going to talk about some concealed carry weapons. And I'm not here to tell you what you should and shouldn't carry. What I'm going to do is just give you some information, and hopefully you can take that information and make the best decision for you and carry what you're most comfortable with. So to talk about a couple of things. So there's been some research projects out there, and one of the biggest things that they've talked about is what bullet actually takes down, the person coming at you, your threat. About 50% of first shots take down the perpetrator. That's not a lot. We're talking about body shots, head shots. 50% is not a lot. So a lot of what's important is follow-up shot, and we're going to get back into that in just a little bit in a few minutes. But what I want to talk about that is, so headshots are known to about 75% of headshots take the subject down on the first shot. Probably 41% is about what it takes if you hit the center body mass, and if you hit an extremity, you're clear down to 14%. Now all that varies, of course, per caliber. It's pretty close in the calibers, but it does vary per caliber. So there's some stuff we'll talk about with that in caliber direction and in size of weapon. So calibers. If we're talking about the 22, the 25, the 32, most of these are typically carried very small weapon. They're not a long muzzle and not a long barrel, so they're not necessarily very accurate. They also don't necessarily pack a lot of knockdown power. Now that can be compensated for in your bullet or in the powder and things like that, but they're not ideal weapons to carry for those purposes alone. The accuracy is really low. Following into low accuracy is also your new pocket carry guns they have out there, like your TCPs and your double taps and things along those lines. Great weapon, they are effective, they are efficient. They're only for close quarter combat. They're not going to be anything outside of 5 feet even. You're not going to have the confidence to take a shot at somebody, especially a headshot. And most of them only carry 2 to 3 rounds, these smaller ones, so you don't have a lot of follow-up rounds to land on target. So it's important when picking a weapon to think, yeah, it's small, but will it do what I'm asking it to do? And some of that we can get into, what happens in today's society is way different than what happened before. Gunfights have progressed from Wild West to quick draw to guys coming into movie theaters and schools with, high caliber, highly efficient weapons. And are you going to be able to stop that threat with a 2-round gun from across the theater or across the hall in a school? Probably not. But like I said, I'm just giving you the information. You make the decision. Moving on to another one, we're talking about the 380. The 380 is okay for a weapon, and it's pretty commonly carried. It's very small, compact. The round is not highly efficient, and it's not highly downrange. It's not good downrange. It's just it's close contact, like we've talked before. Also, 380s have been kind of known for malfunctions, and they're not quality as a weapon as some of the others you can carry. There's just too many little things that can go wrong with the 380 compared to your 40 caliber Glock or your 40 caliber Smith & Wesson. There's just too many little things and variables that can cause issues there. Great on the first round. They're always great on the first round. But as we're talking, as we move along, and as we heard about that 50% takedown, that second round, that follow-up round is really key. And with the 380, it's hard to hold on to. It's so small for a lot of people. Now, training is important, and the more you train with it, the better you get. But being hard to hold on to, that first round, that second round, is going to be a hard follow-up round. About the 38 Special and the 357 Magnum. Both great calibers. They both have a lot of knockdown power. They're both accurate to an extent. Some of them have shorter barrels that they've tried to compress and get it tighter to carry for a carry weapon. The snub-nosed ones aren't as accurate, of course. The longer the barrel, almost always the better the accuracy. This is another issue. There's a lot of kick on these smaller frames and the lighter frames. That follow-up shot, as we talk again. Follow-up shot, follow-up shot, follow-up shot. It's hard to get back on target. Now there is guys that are going to contend with that and say, well, I train with my gun every day. Absolutely. If you train with your gun every day, it doesn't matter what you carry, as long as you train with it consistently and you feel comfortable yourself that you can, assess and take care of any threat that you come along in your everyday manner. So 338, 357, good weapons to carry. I've carried them myself in the past, and I'm confident with it at close quarters. Anything outside of 10 yards, not so confident. Talk about your 40s, your 45s, and your 9mm semi-automatic pistols. I've got a few of them laid out here for you. We got the FNS, the M&P Core, the XDS9, an M&P, and a Glock 22. And this is the Glock 27. This right here is what I carry every day, all day long. It's a smaller frame gun, and with it being a 40 and not a lot to hold on to, a lot of people have a hard time getting that second follow-up shot accuracy. For me, I've trained with it. It feels good in my hand, and I feel like I can lay round after round on target quickly. And as we've talked about as we've gone along, it's kind of been a common theme of the video. It's that follow-up shot. It's that being able to get back on target, being able to assess the threat again the second time and see if they're still moving and coming after you again and getting that second shot on them and getting them down. 50% on the first shot, that's not a great scenario. You're about 80% on that second shot that they're going to stop. And that's where we get into these, and we can talk about round and all that, the type of round, and they used to teach the double tap shot, and both those rounds would land closely on the subject. That's not necessarily the best method anymore. There's been some, progression as far as that goes. More holes, bigger holes in the bigger area is going to be a much better takedown. A headshot, always the best. If you've got a headshot, that's going to stop your target more than anything. All these guns here are accurate out to 25 yards and past. This one here, I can hit headshots at 25 yards all day long, and it's because I've trained myself to do that, and I've practiced and I've repeated that. But any of these weapons, and they're all easily concealable. They all tuck into the belt. They all have inside the belt holsters. They have purse holsters for them. They have shirt holsters. They have everything you can think of for these weapons in these frames to hide it. I feel like these are probably the best to carry, in my opinion. Now, that's only because I've trained with them the most. I have, in some undercover situations, carried, a 38 or something revolver, and the only reason I do that is it's great. If they grab hold, I'm still going to get that round, where with these slide guns, that doesn't always happen. I grab the top of that gun, and you're not going to get the round off the second time. It's going to jam things up. So there is some different ways to go. 40 versus 45. 40 is a little bit lighter. The 45, you're only going to get a single stack on most of these and be able to conceal it. A 40, you're going to get more rounds. You're going to make a nice big hole. Coming out the backside, you're going to get good penetration, at least 10 to 12 inches of penetration. It's hard for me to just tell you that this is the gun to carry, because that's not what I am. What I am going to say is it's more about the training, and what you train with and how you train and how often you train. And we'll get more into that in just a moment, but to finalize these ones, you're going to get the most ammo you can carry in the gun itself. You're going to get the most accuracy, and you're going to get a lot more confidence as you shoot the gun, because you're going to start to feel that you are more accurate with this weapon. So that confidence level is huge. All right, so we've covered all the different various calibers and types of guns, and we haven't covered everything. We just did kind of a wide variety of things that are available. And the common theme was the follow-up shot. And there's going to be a lot of technical guys that are going to come in and they're going to say this and this and this round and this load and this gun and whatever, and there is a lot to that for those people. For me and the everyday training that we provide here, and the people that we're training, the moms and the dads and the teachers and things like that are carried and concealed, who are actually going to respond to something in public and are going to be ready to go. It's all about the training, and that's the main focus of Red Rock Defense Group, is training. And we train law enforcement and civilian, and we even have some military stuff, and we're all about getting people on the right track. And being on the right track is being what's comfortable for you, and being able to take that weapon in any situation and deal with the threat that you fear most. That might be just at home or in your car, or you're afraid of one of these mass shootings or something like that. You know, we want to prepare you to be able to assess and deal with that threat. We've talked about a lot of stuff, and I'm just going to put it back to you one more time. Train, train, train. Whatever weapon you choose, whatever comfort level you have, the one you purchase is the one for you. Go out and train with it. If you can't get accurate with it, if you can't get comfortable with it, get rid of it. Sell it. Get another one. Because if you're not comfortable with the weapon, you're not going to take it out, and the threat's going to come at you, and it's going to be too late. You got to be confident that you can take that out in any situation and deal with that threat, and at the end of the day, you're comfortable with that. So, like I said, train, train, train. If you fail to train, you're training to fail. So this has been another Firearm Friday tip from Red Rock Defense Group. Feel free to send us any question you have. We do questions here, and we do them on the range, so we can answer ballistic questions and things like that. You name it, we'll answer it. Our website's attached to this, and come see us, and we'll see what we can do for you.